Rain tapped the city like a patient drummer when Michael stepped out of the airport. He hadn't told anyone he was coming home a day early. No press. No assistants. No driver. Just a black umbrella and a restless heart that missed his mother's gentle humming. By the time he reached the hilltop mansion, the storm had softened into a silver mist. The iron gate opened with a sigh. Gravel crunched beneath his shoes. Somewhere, a wind chime whispered, soft, uncertain, like a warning. Inside, the foyer smelled of polished wood and lavender. Quiet. Too quiet. Michael paused. Listened. A clock ticked. Water dripped. Then, a muffled cry. A thud. A breath cut short. His spine went cold. He set his suitcase down silently and moved. Footsteps light. Every nerve awake. The sound came from the small sitting room off the corridor, his mother's favorite place, the one with the faded blue couch and the framed photo of his late father. Through the cracked door, he saw a scene that carved itself into his bones. Emma, his mother, curled on the rug, one hand covering her face. Evelyn, his fiancée, stood over her, heel lifted, jaw tight. "Get up," she hissed, voice low and venomous. "Stop pretending you're fragile. I said get up." Her foot struck. A small cry. Michael's mouth opened but no words came. The world narrowed to a tunnel. Blood thundered in his ears. For a heartbeat, he saw red, hot, absolute. Then something held him back. Not rage. Strategy. He stepped back into shadow. Breath shallow, hands shaking. Don't explode. Don't forget. Remember every detail. The tremor in Emma's fingers. The shadow on Evelyn's face. The way the porcelain angel on the end table lay shattered like a fallen star. He pulled his phone out with numb fingers, turned on the camera, and began to record. "Please," Emma's voice broke. "Please, don't." "Don't what?" Evelyn spat. "Don't make me look like the bad person. Do you know how exhausting you are? Michael spoils you. He will choose me. He always will." A silence so heavy it rang. Michael's knuckles whitened around the phone. "Will I?" He slipped the phone into his coat, wiped his face with a slow breath, and set his jaw. He pushed the door fully open, put warmth into his voice, and stepped into the room as if he'd just arrived from a long, happy trip. "Surprise," he said softly. "I missed you." Evelyn spun, face freezing in shock before a bright, brittle smile snapped into place. "Michael, you're early." Emma looked up, eyes wet, the faintest plea shimmering in them. He kissed his mother's forehead. His hands felt the tremble in her skin. He smelled fear. He tasted metal on his tongue. But his voice remained calm. "Everything okay in here?" he asked. Evelyn laughed too quickly. "Your mother tripped. The rug." Michael nodded like a man accepting the weather. Him. Outside, the wind chime rang once, twice, like a clock striking an hour no one was ready for. He took a breath and smiled. Not at Evelyn. At a plan forming like stormlight on water. Because sometimes the loudest justice begins with a quiet step. Michael's eyes drifted to the tiny security camera tucked above the doorframe, one Evelyn had never noticed. What exactly had it already seen? "Let's get you comfortable, Mom," Michael murmured, helping Emma to the couch. Her palm was cool and papery. He watched her eyes flick toward Evelyn, quick and fearful, like a bird scanning the sky. Evelyn knelt beside them, smile stretched thin. "I'll make tea." "Chamomile," Emma whispered. "Chamomile," Evelyn echoed, vanishing toward the kitchen on restless heels. Michael let the silence sit, heavy and honest. The clock ticked. Rain patted the window. A kettle clanged somewhere beyond the corridor. He gently tilted Emma's face. A bruise bloomed along her cheekbone, faint but undeniable. "Rug?" he asked softly. Emma swallowed. "I'm clumsy, dear." A lie wrapped in love. The most painful kind. On the end table, the porcelain angel lay in two pieces. Michael touched its broken wing. "This fall too?" Emma's eyes glistened. She said it was in the way. He breathed in. Out. Anger hot as iron in his ribs. Calm, he told himself. Give her safety first. Give yourself truth second. Evelyn's voice floated in from the kitchen. Robert. Where's the good honey? Robert, the house manager, answered, top shelf. His tone was flat. The staff had seen things. Felt them. Heard them. Did they think he wouldn't believe them? Or had fear taught them silence? When Evelyn returned with a tray, the cups rattled. To family, she sang, placing a steaming cup into Emma's hands. Michael took his cup, watched the steam curl and vanish. To family. He let minutes pass. A soft conversation. Sweet nonsense. He laughed at nothing. He asked about nothing. He memorized everything. The darting eyes. The tightening jaw. The way Evelyn flinched whenever he looked too long. Then he rose. Robert, a word. In the hallway, Michael lowered his voice. Tomorrow's engagement dinner. Move it up 2 hours. Don't tell Evelyn. Invite John from security. He'll come as a friend, not staff. Quietly add Sophia too, the neighbor from 2 doors down. The doctor. Robert's brows lifted. Yes, sir. And Robert, if anyone mistreats my mother under this roof, you tell me immediately. No more protecting anyone's feelings at the expense of her safety. His throat tightened on the last word. He returned to the sitting room with a soft smile. Evelyn, we should make tomorrow extra special. Her eyes brightened with relief, as if fear just blinked. Yes, the press will go wild. The press can wait. He glanced at Emma, whose fingers curled around the cup for warmth. This is about family. Evelyn's phone buzzed. She looked down, hid a grin. A message flashed and vanished. Michael caught only a name, Marcus. The room cooled. Everything okay? He asked. Oh, just the florist, she said too fast. Peonies or roses? Peonies, Emma whispered. Peonies, Michael repeated, watching Evelyn's throat move when she lied. When the tea was done, he walked his mother to her room, dim with lamplight and lavender. At the door, she tugged his sleeve. Don't be angry, darling, she whispered. People do cruel things when they feel small. He kissed her hair. And what do we do when they kick the small? Emma's eyes were oceans. We stand taller, but we never become them. In the hall, Michael texted one line to his attorney, Robert Hale. Move all personal holdings into the Emma Trust tonight. Confirm. As the confirmation pinged back, Michael set a tiny audio recorder on the mantel and said, lightly, Evelyn, would you mind keeping Mom company for an hour while I run an errand? The house exhaled when Michael stepped outside. The mist had thinned to threads. He walked to the car, opened the door, then quietly closed it again and stayed by the hedge, listening through his earpiece. Inside, the recorder captured every breath. Evelyn, get up. Take your pills. Quickly. Emma, you just gave me tea, dear. A sharp clatter. Don't argue. You make everything difficult. Michael's heartbeat thudded against the small speaker pressed to his palm. He felt the old ache of childhood, when he'd promised his father he would protect her always. He had built companies, bought buildings, outwitted markets, yet somehow, he had missed this. He made a call. Sophia. Michael. Her voice was warm, steady, the kind of voice that could hold secrets without letting them rot. I need you next door. Now. Please come as a friend. I'm on my way. He returned through the side entrance, moving like a ghost down the service corridor. Evelyn's voice drifted from Emma's room, sweet as honey but sharp underneath. If you embarrass me tomorrow, I swear. Michael pushed the door open. Sophia's here, he said gently. Evelyn jumped. Oh, we were just planning the morning. Sophia slipped in, rain on her lashes, doctor's bag in hand. I brought those brochures for the community clinic. And since I'm here, Emma, may I check your blood pressure? Emma relaxed at once. You always know how to ask, dear. In the warm light, Sophia worked quietly. Cuff. Stethoscope. A soft hum. She glanced at Michael once, just once, and he read the message in her eyes. There are marks she didn't put on herself. Evelyn hovered. Is this necessary? Emma's fine. She trips. She's clumsy. It's the rug. The rug again, Sophia said mildly, noting readings in her little notebook. Perhaps we should secure it. Or remove it, Michael said. Things that keep hurting people shouldn't stay. Silence. A heavy, honest silence. Evelyn looked away first. Later, when Sophia stepped into the hall with Michael, she exhaled. She's dehydrated. There's bruising on her upper arm and hip. Some old. Some new. Michael closed his eyes. I saw enough. Report it, Sophia said softly. Not to shame. To protect. He nodded. I will. Tomorrow. Tomorrow. I need tomorrow to be a mirror. For everyone. He texted his lawyer again. Prenup addendum. If I marry, spouse receives nothing without unconditional care for Emma. If evidence of abuse, immediate annulment triggers donation of 90% of my assets to Emma Foundation. Draft by morning. Confirmed, Hale replied. Also, Evelyn met Marcus Caldwell at Le Pavillon last week. His, persistent. Michael's mouth cooled. Thank you, he whispered to no one, and to himself. People tell you who they are when they think no one's listening. He returned to Emma's bedside. She slept now, breath soft, a small crease between her brows. He smoothed it with his thumb, then drew the curtains and left the lamp low. In the corridor, he found Robert and John waiting. Tomorrow, Michael said, no press. Just family, a few friends, and 2 seats for Officer Diaz and her partner from Community Safety. They'll be off duty. Observing. Robert nodded. John's jaw flexed. Understood. Michael turned toward the stairs and paused, letting the house breathe with him. He could hear Evelyn moving in the guest room. Phone. Laughter. A whispered see you tomorrow, Marcus. He smiled, not with joy, but with clarity. If truth is a blade, then tomorrow would be its bright, clean edge. At dawn, a courier slipped a sealed envelope under Michael's door. The new prenup and the deed transfer to the Emma Trust. Signed, notarized, irrevocable. By evening, the dining room glowed like amber. Low lamps, white linen, peonies that smelled like soft spring. The table was set for 12. Family. A few friends. Sophia in pale blue. Robert and John seated discreetly. 2 empty chairs near the back. Emma entered on Michael's arm, wearing her favorite green shawl. The room softened. Even the flowers seemed to lean toward her. Evelyn swept in moments later, diamonds flashing, a dress like poured champagne. Everyone, she sang, thank you for celebrating love. Glasses rose. Silver chimed. Laughter knitted the air. Michael let it all move around him, quiet as the tide. When the first course was cleared, he stood, fingers resting on the back of Emma's chair. I want to show you something, he said. A short film I made for tonight. The staff dimmed the lights. A screen slid down with a soft whir. Music began. Piano, gentle and clear. Photos. Michael as a boy on Emma's shoulders. Emma selling homemade bread at a market stall. Emma holding a school certificate she earned at 58. Emma laughing with flour on her face. Then, silence. The music faded. The screen stilled on a photo of the porcelain angel, whole and glowing. A new clip began. A quiet room. A cracked door. Evelyn's heel lifted. The words, get up. A breath. A cry. The porcelain angel fell, broke, bled dust. The room stopped breathing. Evelyn bolted to her feet. That's edited. That's not, Michael, you can't. Michael raised a hand. Let the film finish. Another clip. The audio from the afternoon. If you embarrass me tomorrow, I swear. Evelyn turned wild-eyed to the guests, then tried on tears like a dress. I was stressed. She provoked me. She complains all day. I'm overwhelmed. Emma pressed her shawl to her mouth, trembling. Sophia reached for her hand. Michael's voice was steady. I asked our guests to give us a gift tonight. A minute of true silence. No excuses. No performances. Just listening. He gestured to the room. Close your eyes. They did. A minute stretched. You could hear the clock tick. The wind whisper. Emma's fragile breath. A sob caught and broke in someone's throat. When the lights rose, Michael faced Evelyn. Here are the documents delivered this morning. He lifted the envelope. The Emma Trust now holds my companies, real estate, and accounts. The prenup states that abuse nullifies everything. There's also a clause about honesty. He slid a second photo on the table. A still of Evelyn at Le Pavillon with Marcus, fingers intertwined. Evelyn's face drained. It's not what it looks like. It looks like truth, Sophia murmured. Michael looked at the two empty chairs. Officer Diaz, Officer Malik. Two plainclothes officers stood from the back. Diaz said to Evelyn, gentle but firm. We're here because someone reported potential elder abuse. We'd like to speak with you. The room shifted. People sat straighter. Some looked down. Some looked at Emma with new eyes, full of apology. Michael sank to one knee before his mother. I failed you for a while, he whispered. I won't fail you again. Emma cupped his cheek. You came home, she said. That's all a mother asks. He stood, turned to the room. Tonight was supposed to be an engagement announcement. Instead, it will be a different kind of vow. He took a breath. We're opening the Emma Foundation for Caregivers, funding respite care, adult day programs, and emergency support for families. I'm donating 90% of my wealth to seed it. A gasp rippled. Glasses rattled. Even the chandeliers seemed to listen. Michael looked at Evelyn one last time. You may leave with whatever dignity you choose to keep, but not with us. Evelyn's heel caught the edge of the rug as she turned. She stumbled, and for the first time, she looked small, not powerful. She stared at the broken porcelain angel on the sideboard and finally understood what she had shattered. Morning smelled like wet earth and tea leaves. Birds stitched the sky with sound. Emma's garden, once a quiet patch of green, had become a meeting place. Sophia with a clipboard, Robert walking a new nurse through the gate, John installing a small, tasteful camera by the trellis, then stepping back so the roses could breathe. Michael pushed Emma's wheelchair along the flagstones. Sunlight warmed their knees. This path is uneven, he said. We'll fix it. Emma smiled. Don't fix everything. Leave a stone or two to remind you to slow down. He laughed softly. Deal. News traveled fast. Some called Michael a fool. Others called him brave. Money people called his lawyer, muttering about fiduciary duty. Michael called it simple, protect what matters. Sophia joined them with gentle steps. Your blood pressure is better today, Emma. It's the sun, Emma said. And the peace. And your son, Sophia added. They sat a while with their hands in their laps, listening to the small noises of ordinary life. The rattle of a bicycle on the road, a kettle's distant whistle, bees murmuring in the peonies. A slow, kind world. Footsteps on gravel. Evelyn's voice at the gate, thinner now. Michael, please. I need to apologize to her. John glanced at Michael. He nodded. 2 minutes. Evelyn approached, eyes swollen, ringless fingers twisting. She stopped in front of Emma. The old haughtiness was gone. In its place, a rawness that might have been remorse, or only fear. I'm sorry, she said. I was cruel. I was jealous of what you two have. I thought if I controlled it, I'd belong. Emma's eyes searched her face. I pray you become gentle with yourself, she said softly. Gentleness toward others follows after. Evelyn's shoulders fell. I don't expect forgiveness. Then don't demand it, Michael said. Earn it somewhere else, with years of better choices. Officer Diaz's car idled at the curb. We'll be in touch, Diaz said to Michael. Court dates. Support services. Thank you, Michael replied, for being steady. After they left, quiet returned, full and bright. Michael poured tea for his mother, for Sophia, for himself. Steam rose in pale ribbons. I loved her, he admitted. Or I loved who I thought she could become. Sophia tilted her head. We all fall in love with futures we invent. Emma patted his hand. Love is not blind, dear. Love sees clearly and chooses anyway. But love never closes its eyes to cruelty. They watched a ladybug climb a thorn, pause, and open its little red doors to fly. Do you think people can change? Michael asked. Emma considered. Yes, when truth breaks their favorite lies. And me. You didn't change, she said. You came home to yourself. Later that afternoon, volunteer applications poured into the new foundation website. Donations trickled, then flowed. Stories arrived, quiet confessions from sons, daughters, spouses, neighbors. People who had seen small cruelties and said nothing. People who had stood tall and were punished for it. People asking, what can I do now? Michael stood on the terrace and looked back through the open doors at the sitting room. The blue couch, the small table, a new porcelain angel glowing softly under the lamp. He could still hear last night's silence, that honest minute when a roomful of people finally listened to breathing. He turned to Emma, whose shawl fluttered in a friendly breeze. I promise, Dad, he said. I promise you. Emma smiled. Go keep your promises to strangers too. He nodded. Then he asked the question that mattered most, not as a billionaire, not as a son, but as a neighbor to the world. When we hear a soft cry from behind a half-closed door, what do we do? If you discovered cruelty hidden behind polite smiles, at work, at home, or in your own circle, what specific action would you take today to stand taller without becoming cruel yourself?